Hmm?
Do you want to go at doing the intro again, Sarah?
Hey, do what? Sorry?
Do you want to go at doing the intro again?
Oh,
It's
God,
been a
no.
while.
Hi, 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 hi. Hi, everybody. Guess what? We're all back together. That's the intro.
How are you,
Oh,
Sarah? It's been a while.
it has been. I'm fine. I'm tickety boo. I'm enjoying life. Yeah. Uh, taking the stress, the stress pedal off things and just coasting along, doing my very haphazard, random whatever's going on and whatever I fancy doing. So nothing's much changed here, to be honest.
Living life.
I am living life. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've come back to winter now and I think, right, okay, so I'm actually being vaguely sensible and doing extra jobs just to earn a bit more money so I can squirrel it away to go travelling next year.
Good for you. Hey,
So,
Yeah.
if you want to
fantastic.
come over to the US of A, then
Hey.
Chloe.
Where are you based, Ash?
Oh, I'm in proper hillbillyville. I'm in the heart of rednecks. So I'm in Pennsylvania.
Wow. I bet they love your accent, don't they?
Yeah, but they keep thinking I'm from on Monday night I was introduced to a colleague's friend. Went, oh, this is Ashley. She's from London, and I went, no, I'm not.
Stupid Yank.
Oh, edit.
And she doesn't even know where the UK is. She's got no idea of which part of the world I'm actually from.
Wow.
So yeah, I get a lot. Everyone thinks I'm Irish.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been Ireland comes up a lot. So you from Ireland, I'll go top of the morning to you. So yeah, no, I'm not from Ireland, guys. And they're just like, where are you from? Scotland. Scotland?
And have you settled in? Have you made good friends? Are you feeling good about being there?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. No, everyone's been amazing. Love everyone here in the office. Settled in just fine. Bono's with me, so I've got my fur baby with me. So no, I really don't have anything to complain about. And well, you guys know the story, so to be in this position after everything, it's just tickety boo.
What a leap of faith, though. I remember you doing your vision board, and then bang, done.
Yeah.
It was just the most incredible with what I knew. I thought, oh my God, this really happens.
I know, and it was so quick. I mean, like I remember just speaking to you guys and like, I need to get out of here. I can't stay here. If I stay here, I'm just going to rot and fester. And then had the idea I need to go. I don't know where I'm going to go. And then lo and before, well, that was January, and then at the end of January, I had this opportunity, and I was like, I've got to go, and I haven't looked back since.
Wow.
So I think this is a good segue for our listeners who have maybe heard your name in some of the podcast episodes, actually, but haven't
Oh.
actually seen or heard your voice before. So why don't you give us a quick intro to yourself and then tell us a bit about your story and where you're at now?
Okay, so I hope everything that you were saying about me was good and positive, by the way.
Absolutely not.
Why?
How could it be?
So I'm Ashley Wilson. Where do I start? So 2022, my husband was diagnosed with grade 4 glioblastoma. It was tough. It was tough. We had 12 months with Kevin going through all the radiotherapy, chemo, and all that sort of stuff. They had the procedure. He got it all removed. But me being me, I wanted to do something as a distraction, just to try and kind of have a segregation between what was my reality and something just to focus on. and started the life coaching, signed up for the course we did, met all you wonderful people. And yeah, we just all got on well. We got a fantastic working relationship. You guys have got no idea how much of a support and a comfort blanket you were for me. And then, I was just going through the motions. We were speaking, co-founder of this. And then
Absolutely.
just before we were away to launch, I think we were actually away to launch, 2 weeks before I said, I'm kind of leaving. So, but yeah, sadly, Kev passed away July last year. Big gap in the family, a big, huge loss. It's been something that, yeah, I grieve for him every single day. It's been huge. It's been huge on the kids, myself, but I had to choose and decide what I was doing for myself. And this is why I am now over here in the US of A and trying to forge a new life and finding me.
Wow. Amazing. I think, that's just when you got your long line of where we are on this line in life, you have just like accelerated it and put your trust in yourself and gone for it, isn't it? I mean, that's how many times do people really want to do that? And how many times do people do it? Me included here, you've gone and done it, Ashley, through really, extreme stuff, doesn't it? What you've been through.
Huge. I think one of the things that I've found is there's so many people have said to me, "Oh my God, you're so brave and you're, admire you because, that's a big thing." And it is a big thing, but we had, like you said, we had a path. We were 2 weeks before Kev got his diagnosis, we had bought our happy ever after home in Spain, just signed the deeds, and we were moving to Spain. That was the defined path we were going. We were going to move. Kids are all grown up now, and it was just a case of, yeah, what are we going to do? So we decided on Spain, bought our new house, our happy ever after home, had everything, and then 2 weeks later he was diagnosed, and then 2 weeks later the house went up for sale. So you when you're thrown in a situation, it's sink or swim, isn't it? And it's like, I found so many people throughout my own experience had actually, they never got past the first base. They're so consumed in woe is me, and it's not woe is me. That's harsh, but they struggled to find how to move on.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate to have a friend one of her friends, her husband's been passed away for 10 years and she's still at base one. And I thought, there's only me. If I allow myself to stay in the UK, I will fester. So we have kids. I have 3 boys that have always looked up at me and Kevin, and we've been role models in their lives and stuff. And I thought, if I fester there, they're going to not just lose one parent, they're going to lose 2. And for the sake of the kids, I had to just get out of my bed every day and function like a human being. And like when he first passed away, I spent 4 weeks sitting in our cuddle chair in the blanket, just zoned out. And I thought, can't do this because, Kevin lives in the kids, so it was just a case of I have to do something. So I think it was freeing myself and acknowledging the fact that, if I stayed, I would internally just die. And I've seen that with Kevin. I've seen, the love of your life just slowly but surely chip away, and his body just shut down and he was gone. And there can't be anything worse than being an alive human being and allowing that to happen to yourself. So for me, it was like, I have to do something. So it's not bravery. It's just, you have to choose. And I think the great thing from this whole experience is you've got one life. And for me, it's like, I don't know me. I don't know what I am. I've been a daughter. I've been a mother. I've been a sister. I've been a wife, and I've always conformed to family. I've always done this. I've always been a people pleaser, always. And this is what the course that we've all done has been hugely helpful for me. So making that break and cutting the cord back home is allowing me to be me, and it's great because I have a smile on my face. I'm finding every single day I'm laughing, I'm smiling, and it's I don't forget Kev. Kev will always be there. Kev was my soulmate, but to be able to wake up in the morning and have a smile on my face and just go for it, it's just meant to be.
Wow.
It's so good to see you smiling again.
Yeah,
It really
amazing.
is. And tell us about the opportunity that you got then to head over to the States.
Well, it was just like like I say in January. So Kevin passed away July, and we and again we've gone in and we've just talked about it being like, you know, in the winter months it's dark when you wake up and it's dark when you go to bed. So it's just, and I think surrounded by all that. And my two oldest, so Lewis and Bradley, were both still at home at that point, and they said to me at Christmas time, Mom, I'm going back to America. And Brad said, I'm moving over to Dubai. And it was like that fear, like, oh my God, I can't stay here. I cannot stay here. So I actually reached out to, well, it was one of Kevin's colleagues, but I've known him for forever. And I reached out to Les and I just said, look, Les, here's the situation. Boys are leaving. They're heading off to pastures new, and I can't stay here. I cannot physically stay here because I will rot. I'll fester away. So, is there anybody you can put me in touch with? I'd welcome any recommendations. So he texted straight back and said, "Yep, I've got a guy, Derek. Here's his email, reach out to him." And in the background, he'd reached out to Derek and said, here's Ashley. And Derek knows because Derek actually worked alongside Kevin. So Derek arranged for a meeting. It was only a half-hour meeting. We were supposed to be just speaking about potential American companies and contacts and all that sort of stuff, just to kind of just put my resume here, there, and everywhere. And an hour and a half later on that very call, he actually said, you know what? I think you'd be a good fit for here. And I was just like, wow. So, and I mean, he personally has been the perfect gentleman. I mean, I've got the house, I've got the job, I've got a car, I mean, literally everything that you need for a move anywhere in the entire world, everything was checked, everything was tick boxed. And literally, as I said to my family, the only thing that I have to do is just go and get a pair of Bridget Jones big punts and put them on and get over there. So yeah, it just, when it's like Sarah was saying with the whole vision board and everything like that, everything just went boom. The door was there, everything that was needed, and yeah, I said absolutely. And I've been here 6 months, guy. This has been
I know.
6 months. Can you
Wow.
believe it?
Love it. Well done. I'm so inspired by your story because it's like the phoenix coming out of the flames, just a resurrection and just it's so inspiring, and I couldn't be happier for you. And looking at you, and I mean, speaking to you now after all this time is just it's kind of giving me goosebumps. It's so beautiful to see.
Oh,
Love it.
thank you. No, it's definitely excuse me. It's definitely been the best thing. I mean, yeah, from where I was, you guys know because you've seen I've been with you guys when I was going through all this, so you've seen the journey I've been on. And, I say to the kids, like my worst days here are on par to my good days that I had in the UK. And that's huge. That for me, that's massive to be able to just comfortably say that, yeah, it's no regrets.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
Lovely. Is there room for all
And
of us, by the way? Can we all come and bring our sleeping bags?
Absolutely. Y'all come over here and it's fine.
I love it.
The
That's
only
what
thing
we do.
the only thing that I really do struggle here with is the food. I mean, like, man, they sugarcoat everything. I mean,
Oh, no.
I tell them every time. I tell them every time. It's like, things that are safe for me. Like these corn dog things.
God.
Yeah, I like a hot dog, but these corn dog things, they're wrapped in pancake mix. So when you're way to bite it, it sparkles in the sunshine. I'm like, I took a bite, and I was like, no, this is nasty. And then just took all the batter off and ate the sausage. Oh. So
So the idea of clean eating is not really there, is it?
no, the bread's sweet, like everything's sweet. I went and got pizza a few weeks ago, and I went to get a tub of coleslaw, and I thought, yeah, it looks like coleslaw you get back home. And I went and had a bit, and I was like, it's sweet.
God.
Oh my God. I think you just have to cook. You have to buy
Yes,
ingredients and cook. That's it.
yes. I'm really bad at that because I think that's probably the worst habit I've gotten into because when you are on your own, it's like you don't want the faff and like chopping up all the ingredients and doing all the separate pans. It's just quicker. I just go to Chipotle or somewhere here and just grab a meal. So
Yeah.
it's just so bad.
You're not looking bad on it anyway, so
No.
you're
Not at
obviously
all.
doing something right.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, no, it's well, I'm avoiding all the sugary foods, so it's not leaving me much.
You're moving coatings off of everything.
Yeah, so no, it's good. It's really, really good.
Bless you.
And so, what does the future hold for you then, Ashley?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
I don't.
Ian's always does it, doesn't he?
Do you know something? I guess until you've walked a path like mine and having already been in a position where I had planned the future, we had a defined pathway. I'm not looking too far in the future now. It's just I literally okay, we have plans and we do things a few weeks in advance, but in terms of where I see myself, I'm just living in the moment. I'm just living for now, and I have no, I'm going to be moving around here. So I've already done areas of the US that I'd never seen before. Like I was in Charlotte. We did NASCAR a couple of weeks ago. Oh my God. Phenomenal. It was awesome. So been to Charlotte. We did Missouri. I done St. Louis, like in the film, me and St.
Wow.
Louis. Been there, Kansas City. And yeah, I just think future. I think personally, future. Where you see your future. I think in terms of career, you want to just see a progression. You want to see yourself getting from here to there. Life's different, and I think from what I've experienced and where I've been and what we've gone through, I don't have any. I just want, what I want to live for now. Like Sarah was saying, I want to love life. I want to be happy. I've had too much drama in my own life over the years. I want to go and see parts of the USA. I might actually get myself a man as well. So you just don't know. So yeah, I'm not ruling out anything. I'm just going to grasp this opportunity and just take it day by day.
Excellent. Wow.
Good for you.
Beautiful.
Good for you.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
listeners, I think you may have heard we've also got Sarah back, who's been missing for a while. So Sarah, why don't you tell us what you've been up to?
Nothing as grand or as exciting as Ashley, I have to say. What have I been up to? I think I took a step back and realised, looking at my own journey, that with doing the training, meeting you lovely guys and stuff like that was part of my journey of coming out of pretty nasty burnout, really. I didn't realise how bad it was until fairly recently. So I used, because I like to learn, I like to move forward. So I use the coaching as a tool to help me move forward and learn as well. And it seemed a very good add-on to my professional career as an occupational therapist, and it genuinely is, because OT's basically coached, but in different ways. So great, absolutely brilliant, loved it. But realised what I hadn't done was I'd gone from being burnt out or whatever level, not working, going back into work into a new role, part-time. Great, that's it, I can do part-time. It's a challenge, but I thought I can't do full-time. And then did the training and was working, as we all do, well over full-time hours with trying to sort of, and I was just struggled with it. And I am the world's best master's degree status in procrastinating. Absolutely got it. And gold-plated knickers on that one. So I was constantly challenging myself and challenging my lovely friends here often as well, with struggling to commit. And it started to get harder to feel comfortable. I loved the coaching. I loved what I was doing. When I saw people, it seemed very, not easy, but it seemed the right thing to do. But I didn't like all the other stuff. I found it stressful. And I realised I wasn't back to 100%. I hadn't given myself a chance to just work my OT hours, my part-time hours, and get my feet back into that side of things, because at the end of the day, I need to pay the bills, being a solo earner. So that's when I sort of took a back seat, which I really didn't want to do in so many ways, because I felt typical adoptee type thing. You're letting people down, and I was letting myself down, and all the stuff we get when we decide to leave something. But actually, it was the right decision. It really, really was. And I think, again, as I'm heading towards the big 6-0 next year, I realised that I can add things into my life, things I want to add in. Gone are the days where I have to do something. My children have flown the nest and whatever else, they're independent. And it's that first chance you get, really, to really put yourself at the forefront, which doesn't seem a natural thing when you've been a provider and you're a mum and all the stuff, all the trappings that go with it. So it takes a bit of getting used to. The empty nest bit, oh gosh, even now it's like, even though the boy wonder is still to and fro in a bit, it's tough. So I'm indulging myself. I'm letting the coaching just slowly flow alongside everything else, and I'm a great believer in things happen for a reason, or I want it to evolve organically. And ironically, it sort of does. People reach out and say, "Oh, I've got a neighbour that's looking at adopting, and they just want to speak to somebody who's been through it, and just chat about what that was like and how they can prepare to be adopted parents and stuff." And then I've ended up coaching younger people, which is quite interesting. Yeah, sort of teenagers and stuff like that. I've got a friend going back many, many years to when I was at textile college, and she adopted a daughter when she was 7, and she's 21 now and starting to hit some difficult times. So she wanted some advice. So it's organically doing its thing, which I can do. I can manage to cope with the balancing of the time and the effort put into that. And I'm being more creative. I'm out there doing literally hands-on creative stuff. I gave myself a upholstery course for a week for my birthday instead of a holiday. I thought, right, I'm going to go and do that. So I had a lovely project, a little Art Deco chair that I bought a few years before. And I went to this workshop. It's not far away, so I was traveling, and I met 3 other lovely ladies with a joint purpose. And we just, we were our little tribe for the week. We all had, and it was just wonderful. So I'm indulging in actually being a bit kind to myself, because we all say about the self-care and the self-love, and we are the worst at it. And I think often we gravitate to things like coaching or caring or something like that because we want to. People pleasers, Ash. I am with the journey I've had with my adoption and meeting my family and constant learning about that, and the acceptance of it is massive, and people pleasing is a massive part of that for me. So yes, I've been very fortunate. I'm just being creative, doing nice things with friends. I'm going on a pottery weekend next weekend, so I'm literally going back to my roots, which have been art-based stuff. And I went to creative craft show at the NEC yesterday, and I come back with so much stuff. I'm turning into an old lady that's going to craft and have dogs and things like that. Yeah. So
I think it's amazing what you're saying about the empty nest syndrome, because I'm going through that now as well. So coming over to America, I was starting a new life, but I was also doing the empty nest syndrome. And it's quite, I find that, I don't know, it's just a shared experience, because you're like, I find myself coaching young kids. So I've come here and, like my friends are the kids. And because they're the ones that can actually go out and socialize and, and go out for meals and things like that. And I've got a great relationship with the kids. And I have to I can't stop saying it, but even in the work environment, I keep calling them the kids. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, I've got to stop calling you the kids, but they're the same age as my kids. And I just feel it's just with you, what you said, that's exactly the way I'm going here. And, I'm helping them because this is their first corporate job. They need a little bit of guidance and a little bit of just, explanation of things. And I'm doing that the same as you here. I just thought that was quite bizarre.
And it's lovely. You do. I think if you're kind to yourself again, you look back and think you do have the wisdom. I'm this sort of. I'm not quite. We've got quite an old work team, but a lot of experience in the team I work with as an OT, and I thought, yeah, we've got this wisdom.
Yeah.
And even my bosses who were like in their 30s just say, yeah, we want to stick you in the corner, because I didn't want to do any patient-facing work and stuff because I just couldn't face doing it. They said, oh God, I'd love to have you just in the office as the oracle in the corner so we can just run things past you, And sometimes I think we need to hear these things. We need to have that reflection of what skills we do have from whatever background we come. And it does include life skills, like for me, being a single parent for a long time. And I've worked mainly in my career, mainly with the elderly and the frail. So it's quite rejuvenating to suddenly start working with children, young people. How's that happens? Because I've not done it professionally. Obviously, I've done it as a parent, but so it's embracing what comes up, like you've done, Ashley. It's literally, I'm not as brave as you. I still do want to sort of, in a sense, pack up the house and get in the van and sod the world, and I'll do that in fits and starts time and next year. But I am not brave enough to think, where would I go? I mean, Australia would be nice, but my daughter's making her own life over there. I don't want to go on the back of that. You've done it solely for yourself and taken the opportunities as they come up. And I think it's absolutely incredible. Yeah. Yeah.
Sarah, because you mentioned that, kind of touched on the travelling bit then. What travels have you been doing? Because I love listening.
You've gone
about
really quiet, Ian.
What travels have you been doing? I love listening about your travels.
Oh, travels. It's been an interesting year because I did 2 months in Australia this year. My first opportunity to see my daughter, And first thing people say to me, "Oh, did you do lots of traveling? Where did you go?" And it's weird. I mean, you'll get this, Ashley. When your child's abroad somewhere, I went, no, I went to see my daughter. I went to spend time with my daughter. You do suffer around, you live their life with them for 2 months, and that's what I wanted to do. And, she was having some surgery and stuff. So it was just lovely to go and be mum for a bit. What else have I done? I've been out and about and travel a little bit, but I've had holidays with my new family. That's been good. Weekends away with them. And I recently went canoeing with my big brother across the canals in Llangollen, and we went over the big aqueduct and all this sort of stuff. What have I done? I've done lots this year, but when you think, Edinburgh Fringe, that was a good one. Oh gosh, all sorts of bits. I should do a proper good diary and a journal to log them. I'm
You
hoping
really
to.
should. You
Pardon?
you really should write a diary.
Oh, I know. Yeah, so a bit nomadic. I think I'm naturally quite nomadic. It just floats my boat. It makes me happy, and I just like to learn new stuff, do new stuff, see new stuff. Because we only got this one life, and like you said, that you've learned recently through trauma and the hard stuff. You learn through the hard stuff. I think a lot of the time you learn through grief, and that you are only given this one chance, and it's really good to suss out what floats your boat and go for it. And I think for me, floating my boat is getting in my van. It's still my happiest place, Ian. It's still my happiest place, getting in there. And so I've given myself a time scale that Trevor is my van, by the way, folks. Needs to be as complete as possible by May next year. And that's when I'm going off and doing Scotland. I'm going to finish my contract. I'm going to finish my permanent contract with work. And I don't want to have a return date. Because with Australia, I had a return date to go back to work, even though I'd retired. And I wish I hadn't done that. So I learnt from that I'm not going to have a return date. I'm going to suss out the money side, go for as long as I can, do Scotland before the midges eat me, and then perhaps come down the east side of the country, because I've never really done that side, and do more of the UK.
When you go up to Scotland, can you do this and take lots of pictures for me?
Oh, yes. I haven't got the book yet. There's been a lovely programme on TV about that recently. So
it's phenomenal. It's the northeast coast, and that's a good route. It's a wonderful route. Just let me know where you're going, because I'll definitely tell you the places to avoid.
Brilliant.
So yeah, but no, it's good. That's a few Americans over here have like tapped into me and asked me where to go, and because they're all going over to Scotland. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? Like your home base, you don't really appreciate it until you hear all these people are wanting to go over, and it's quite scary, because the Americans know more about the Scottish heritage than me. It's like, okay. But yeah, tap into me, and I'll definitely tell you where to avoid.
Brilliant. And I think you just got to, I don't know, when you get a bit older, you just think, sod it. I don't have to prove anything to anybody anymore. And I don't have to prove anything to myself either. So I think sometimes we're our worst taskmasters.
Yeah. And I do think that's very true, but I don't think it's an old thing. I don't think you reach, like, as you're getting older. I think it's life experience. So what's thrown at you, because I think for me, I'm quite gobsmacked at how many people our age are now passing away, and it just seems like it's come down again. I think if you've gone through something quite traumatic, you just have a completely different outlook. I used to be, I wanted the handbags, you want the shoes, you want all the girly things, and now it's just like, I just want to be happy. I don't want all the frills. I don't need the material stuff. I want a smile on my face with, and just go and enjoy life. I think people get too consumed by, what's the latest trend, what's the latest handbag and all that sort of stuff. And that's probably a little bit condescending, but, I think we just narrow ourselves too much. And it's just like you're saying, Sarah, life's too short. This is not a rehearsal. You can't come back and say, right, okay, I want to start here again and go for, you've got one shot. And it's just like, grab it by the horns and just go for it.
Yeah.
I think Sarah, from your side and on my side as well, is traveling really helps with that as well. It just opens up your eyes. Like, so I have a similar view to you, Sarah, obviously, but mine was just purely from traveling, so I've not been through anything specifically like everyone else has. But the traveling just completely opens up your eyes and changes you and changes your perspective on everything. It's an incredible thing to do for anybody.
I think the is it a downside? I think it's just a realization, really, is that I think when you want to achieve more and you want to, say, for example, travel, want to do all that, it feeds itself, doesn't it? The more you do, the more you want to do, the more you want to do, the more you want to do. I sometimes look at people who have perhaps more simple lives and are content with that. And I can be sometimes quite envious of that, because I think I'll always want to challenge myself to something additional. I mean, why wasn't I happy just going part-time, knowing I could pay the bills? And why, all of us, why do we do this additional training? What pushes us to do that when you can see other people generally content with less? And I often think, fair dues, that must feel really good to be content and not feel you've got to strive for the next thing. And I think that's a little bit of it's a scale thing for me, weighing that up and trying to balance that rather than feel I've got to. It's taking the got to out, isn't it? The shoulds and those sorts of things. I'm working out actually what is it that makes you tick. And like you said, Ash, the material things, no, not at all. As long as I can put fuel in the van, I'm happy.
You can still be content and want to experience more. So perhaps could that be somewhere where you are now? You're still content, but you want more, not content and just happy to sit tight. See the difference?
Yeah.
Because you're longing to travel and you're longing to experience these different places and jump in Trevor and go off. It's not because you're unhappy here. Am I right to say that?
Yeah, but I think sometimes I think when you've gone through, let's say, a colourful life, you do wonder. I think at times there is that thing, I just want to stop and be at peace. But I think that's like it's everybody's individual journey, isn't it? And I think for me, that's probably got quite a lot to do with early trauma and stuff. And you just keep on survival mode. And so sometimes you just want to step off that and be with people that are your rocks, and you want to just breathe and be at peace. But there are ways of doing that, and I think coaching's been an absolute instrumental part of learning, as we have to do with this sort of role, about ourselves a lot more, isn't it? Because I think we need to know a lot about how we work before we can then go forward and support other people.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always learning more about myself than I do about my clients. I think people I'm talking with, every single session teaches me something for sure. And I'm quite good at reflecting, thinking about these things afterwards. And I think, yeah, that was something new, another something new. So I'm very grateful for every conversation I have in whatever capacity it is. Absolutely.
Fabulous. You lot need to do update us now on where you're at with it all. Come on.
Haven't you been listening to the podcast?
I was going to say, do you not
Absolutely.
listen to the
Every
podcast
single
for crying out loud?
nanosecond of it.
Busted.
I'm like this. Look, I'm listening.
Unbelievable.
I'm listening.
Thought you were our one fan.
What? Well, I am. Well, I'm now paying somebody to do that for me. In fact, guess what? Guess what, guys? AI's doing it for me.
We're not really here, actually.
Oh,
Oh, dear. I think we should go to Belinda, our friend B, because there's lots going on with you, isn't there?
Oh, yep, I finished my job today. So
woo!
Yay! Woo!
the one I've been doing for the last just over a year now. So I don't know how much of my history listeners know. I don't know how much I've shared really. So I ran a business for myself for 12 years. Got hit particularly bad to second year of COVID and just never recovered and had to make a pretty tough decision to close it. That was last September, and had already qualified as a coach then, I believe. Yes, I had. Yeah, yeah, I had. And thought that that would be the path that I would go down. But as we've all recognised and realised, it's not as easy as that. It's not as easy to run a coaching business and get it up and running really quickly and easily as all the adverts tell you. So I had to get a job, and I picked up a job, and there's not been anything wrong with the job per se. I think I'm going to say that. I've met beautiful people along the way, some really nice experiences. But I do work arranging people's funerals, so it's not maybe the most happiest of places. But I think I ended up there for a reason, having lost my sister 3 years ago. So I feel like I've done my bit. I've given back after having a terrible time with my sister passing away in COVID and having a horrible funeral. I've made sure that every single one of my clients have had the funeral for their loved ones that they have desired. And decided a few months ago that actually the reason I haven't been doing so much coaching or I've been putting stuff out there is that I actually really need to change my job. And also had a few recognitions of things as well. You know, I'm not so sure I'm striving to have my own business anymore. I had 12 years of it and I loved it, but it's tough. Running your own business is tough. If that's your only income, it's tough. I'm not going to pretend it isn't. And I think it wore me out, if I'm being honest with you. So I worked really. I had to overcome a few blocks when I started applying for jobs. As everybody knows, I kept saying, I think I'm too old. That's why I'm not getting interviews. They just see this old woman on a CV, and yeah. So that was a few blocks. And then when I did release those blocks, which I did, I started applying for things that I actually cared about rather than just applying for jobs. Everything changed, everything shifted, and the role that I start on Monday is one that I applied for. I had another one I applied for, got down to the last two, and there were some red flags, and I was like, I'm not sure I want this job, and I didn't get it, so there was a reason for that. As Sarah says, as Ash said, everything happens for a reason. And then this particular one, I would have been really disappointed if I hadn't got it. So there you go. And I start on Monday as a facilitator, as it's called. And everybody goes, oh, yeah, I know what that is. No, I don't. I have no idea what you're talking about. Everybody who's asked me goes, oh, yeah, what is that? And I start on Monday, and when I say facilitator, I'll be doing a mix of speaking, coaching, training, and in helping to reduce homelessness.
Wow.
It's starting at the root of things. So it's starting with sort of 18-plus-year-olds who are doing work in college to help them understand cost of living, tenancy, rents, pay slips, all that kind of stuff. So it's life skills. But it's also working with people who are coming out of homelessness, or people in halfway housing, or people who are struggling to manage their money for rent arrears. And so we do various things. We'll do group coaching, one-to-one, we do speaking, and we do training. And it's sort of quite a nice flexible role, I think is the word. I think what I'm going to find really difficult is not having a routine, or a set routine like I've had for the last year, which has been Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, get up, go to work, at the moment kind of thing. So it's a little bit different to that. There'll be part working at home and part out in the areas. So yeah, today was my last day. And do you know what? Everybody was like, "Oh, you must be so pleased," and I am. I'm really happy. But there's a sadness that comes with ending anything. And I have had some really lovely times. I've met some beautiful people, and it's another thing I've learned and another thing I've grown into. But again, like Sarah, I'm not ready to settle. I'm not done. I've not finished giving yet. I've not finished doing what I want to do. And I think this has actually made me realise that more than anything. So I need to push on, and I need to push forward, and need to do the next thing and find out where that takes me.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's going to be an incredible job.
Yeah, it'll have its challenges like the one I have,
Yeah,
but it will also have, I think, lots of and the team already have proved themselves that the company is a smaller company, much more concerned about teamwork, health, well-being, all that kind of stuff, which I certainly didn't have where I was. So yeah.
is it a charity-based company? B.
No, it's not. They work with a lot of local authorities. They have contracts with all different kinds of people, with colleges, so it's not. They're not. No, they're not a charity based. No.
That's great. That's
So
very
yeah,
exciting.
something a bit different.
Mm, mm.
And I get to see whether I like doing coaching full time or not, I suppose.
Oh, that's true.
But actually, I think probably I will enjoy the most is the speaking, because I've already found that my coaching journey has taken a turn because there's certain things I just don't want to do that just don't float my boat in coaching. But the speaking definitely does. So I think, I have enjoyed the one-to-one coaching, but I'm definitely not a course creator or anything like that. So yeah, I'm better in person. I come across better in person. So yeah.
Fantastic.
Very excited for you,
Yeah.
B.
Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll let you all know how it's going.
Please. Please do.
Nice to see you've given yourself the weekend off. No break then, no? Just going from one straight through.
I
Good for
haven't even
you.
got a weekend up. I'm on here with you guys tonight. I'm out drinking tomorrow. I'll have a hangout, no doubt, on Sunday. And I've got to get everything ready for work on Monday. So, just my normal life. You know me. I don't know what a chair is. I only sit for the podcast.
Love it.
Yeah.
I'm amazed
So
you can
come on
recover
then,
from a
you
hangover
two.
in just one day now.
Pardon?
I'm amazed you can recover from a hangover in just one day. It takes me a week.
Oh, you're a lightweight, Ian.
Well, I really am. I really am.
Normal stuff I always do. I'm going out with we're going out, me and my husband, with two friends, and it's a start at lunchtime type thing.
Oh.
Big
It's not
session.
gonna end well, is it?
No.
Listen, I'm doing this on the hangover today because I had to experience my first American proper Halloween last night. So yeah, we had trick or treating, and there was everyone from the office, so just along at the house there, and yeah, they kept giving me pickle shots.
Oh.
What is wrong with these
Yeah.
people?
Trust me, it tastes as nasty as it sounds.
Pickle shot.
They coat everything in sugar and then they do pickled shots. Explain.
Yeah. I've got something, but I couldn't do it all live, so it was just a bit. I got myself freaked out when I went to the bathroom earlier on and was like, I was like, oh, it's a pickles. It's a pickles.
yes.
I was ready to Google and say, what the hell in November?
What the hell is wrong
What
with
is
me?
it? Love it.
Don't worry about your tummy, Ashley.
I know. Yeah, I do.
Yes. Just be thankful you're not sitting in this room with me. I'm telling you. So, yeah.
Well,
And
I
that's
can.
actually it. Well,
Does it glow in the dark? That's the question. Turn the lights out and it glows.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get up because it was so smelly.
we're keeping this in, Ashley, by the way.
You know me, I'll always load it down. You take it down a peg or two.
So now it's just down
Um,
to Ian and
yeah.
Deshana to keep you updated on their sort of progression.
Should we save D for last? Save the best for
Yeah,
last.
go on then.
Um,
I'll be done
so
in 2 minutes.
I've taken a bit of a pivot in my coaching kind of niche and how I'm going to be coaching people. So I'm doing a lot of dream building stuff now, which all the listeners know about. But I get really inspired by the conversations I'm having with people about what their dreams are and what their visions are. Me and Dee, we had a coaching session last weekend. And when Dee, you were explaining your vision in that session, I was just sat there and I was like, I love this stuff. I love listening to this kind of thing. It's great. So I'm kind of just focusing on that now. And for those that haven't registered yet, I've got a live vision workshop on the 9th of November at 6:30. IanWhitecoaching.com/dreambuilder. Register now. Anyway, but kind of going back to Sarah yourself in terms of finding that peace and all that kind of stuff. That is like my part of my so strong in my vision and my dream is finding that peace. And for me, it's in the mountains. So I keep going in the mountains, hiking and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, that's basically my update. Pivot, mountains.
Dog, come on.
Oh,
Riley.
you know what? He started getting scared of fireworks. He's been
Oh.
absolutely fine as long as we've had him. And then yesterday, like a light bulb, and he just jumped on the sofa
Oh,
because it's Diwali, isn't it? So they're going off all around us all
Yeah.
night. Bless him. So he's just shaking in the corner.
Getting onto classical FM. They've got a dog music channel. I use them all the time in mine.
Yeah, Nicola was saying earlier that they've got that. But yeah, no, he's good. He can't come to the mountains with me though. He's too old. He can't make it anymore. Bless him.
He also might be getting more scared of the fireworks because he might be losing his hearing a bit. So he's just hearing sounds and feeling vibrations and not sure what it is. Because we found that with me as she got older.
I don't know about losing his hearing because he could be upstairs and I'll quietly open a packet of crisps and he thinks he's got some treats. You can just hear him. You can hear his footsteps and sprinting down the stairs because we've got wood. We've got like wood flooring at the bottom of the stairs. You can just hear his claws scraping along like Scooby Doo. He comes bolting into the kitchen. So I don't think it's his hearing. I think he puts it on, to be honest, so he can just get on the sofa.
Absolutely.
Because we don't
They're
usually
cleverer
let him
than
up
you
on the
think.
sofa. Well, that's my update. That's my update.
Come on, Dee. Your
I'm
turn.
looking forward. Oh, bless you. I am looking forward to joining you on that on the 9th, actually. So
Just for
that's
me
next
and you,
weekend.
Dee.
It might just be.
It's fine. Tell us
I
more
thought-
about it, Ian. Tell us more about it. Come on.
So it's the power of vision. So it's a live workshop, and I give you I go through 3 keys to mastering your results. I don't want to give too much away, but it'll really help people in any kind of walk of life, whatever it is they're looking to do, whatever those results are that they want to get. There's kind of 3 keys that you can go through and start implementing right now. That we go through in that live workshop. So yeah, I'm excited. It's my first one as well. So
Oh, right. Okay.
I'm excited.
Good luck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. I might have to come and heckle.
Yeah.
Nice. That's why I'm going.
He's going to get her
Who
own
is
back.
this joker?
Yeah.
I won't be there, I'm afraid, because I am already
I know.
out. Sorry.
Whatever.
My
I'm gonna look
social
at my
life is
diary.
odious, busy.
Oh no. I guess I'll make it quick because most people know what I'm up to. It's all over everything, and we talk about it a lot in the podcast. I'm just doing lots of coaching. I've got a 12-week program which I'm running through with my first cohort, if you like, the 3 lovely ladies. And that thing you say about the coaching business doesn't happen overnight. It just doesn't. And people for whom it does happen are few and far between. You know, there's a lot of graft that goes on behind the scenes. You know, you're just doing a lot of work on your coaching and on your coaching business. So I'm persevering because I can't imagine my life doing anything else. I just can't. It's not. I can't go back to teaching. I mean, I could teach, but I don't want to. I can't think of anything else that I'd like to do. So I just can't. And if the money runs out and I have to do something else, well, I'll do it, of course. But it's not, you know, I'm going to keep this going until, well, I'm just keeping it going. I'm never going to retire. I'm going to do it till I drop dead. I just,
This is sound really, really positive here, Dee. This is going really well.
it's because every single coaching conversation I have, and you will know this as well, you know, because whether you're doing a lot of it or not a lot of it, it doesn't matter. Every coaching conversation you have, you get something or you achieve something, and the person you're talking to achieves something, and I can't get enough of that. I just can't. Like, can't. And what you said earlier about talking with younger people as well, I've got a couple and a half, if you like, of young people, you know, 2 that I do regularly. They are children or friends, because I mean, I'm in such a privileged position. They've entrusted their children to me, which is like, oh my goodness. And they're not children, you know, they're young adults. But I can see there's a difference there. And while I'm, you know, I put myself out there as working with 40 plus women who, you know, who I feel I identify more with, there's definitely a resonance there with the youngers in their 20s as well. And when I say the half, I mean, there's one that comes and goes whenever they feel like it, right? You know, it's, and I'm absolutely fine with that because I never ever would have said that I would be somebody who enjoys coaching younger people. So maybe there's a niche change coming again. I don't know. But yeah, the coach. Oh, I know what else I could do. If I were to stop coaching, I'd want to sing.
Whoa!
Sing.
Yeah. I actually have a terrible voice.
Oh.
I need a lot of lessons
I can
and
confirm.
God's inspiration and a bit.
Is this
So
gonna?
we might need a really, really strong vocal coach.
I mean, really like. Yeah.
Has this been
You know,
has this been a childhood dream, or has this just suddenly conjured out of the ether?
oh no, it's just something, you know. This I say to Julia, my partner, you know, often if I wasn't doing what I was doing or if things were different, I would be a musician, you know. And every time I watch proms or any kind of orchestra type sort of event, I was just thinking, oh, wouldn't it be lovely just to be like that third violin or the, you know,
Or the violin itself, or you want to be playing it?
I don't even know if there is such a thing as a third violin, but, you know, but just something musical. But other than that, that's it. Just that's where I'm at. And so
Well, I've decided
loving
that if this doesn't work out for me,
yeah.
this role, which I am really excited about, because to get a role where you actually coach and you get
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it's brilliant.
but if
Perfect.
it doesn't work out, it's a fans only account with burlesque for me. So that's yay! You go, girl. Whoop. Get those tassels swinging.
I was going to say,
Come on,
do we
Dee.
still have the
You're swinging.
tassels?
Oh yeah.
I do still have my tassels.
I've seen a picture of them recently. Actually, haven't you had them on
Yeah.
social? Yes.
No, I've been Halloweening on socials recently in my burlesque outfits. So it's been Halloween, and the
Halloweening.
next one is Christmas. Well, I might. You never know. I
Ooh,
might.
oh, ho, ho, ho. I'm going to do things to that big bloke in the red suit that gets stuck down the chimney. I'm getting a bit desperate now. I'm still single. You know, I've got to do something, haven't I? Come on. Might go across the local Father Christmas and sit on his
I was
knee,
gonna say,
make a few legs.
Sarah just trolling the bloody supermarkets looking for Santa.
Well, I love it. We're just going to find out how many Santa events there are in our area and go to every one.
I'm going to put the new twist on speed dating. It's speed dating. It's going to be speed Santa dating.
Yeah.
Sorted. And then
Yeah.
you can imagine this thing that I'm going to manhandle this Santa into the back of my car.
Manhandle Santa into the back of Trevor.
Santa. I'm sure it's a film, kidnapping Santa. I'm sure it's happened already. Well, you know.
Be careful, Sarah. Make sure he's of a reasonable age.
Yeah.
You want,
Okay.
you want
Well,
working
it's got to
class.
have a proper beard. It's got to have a proper beard. Sorry, so it's got to be a reasonable age to have a proper beard, doesn't it? So,
Yeah, but just make sure the
Mhm.
parts are working.
oh well, let's not go there, B. Trust me.
Been there.
Hold on, Ian. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you blushing? Is he blushing?
Yeah, it's got the same color as his T-shirt on my screen.
Oh, if you're not
Oh,
watching this
Sarah.
on YouTube, guys, jump on. Ian is red.
If I just said,
Again. It's like
Again.
it's
Yeah.
like it
It's
happens
every
all the
week,
time.
Ashley.
I
It's
got women
every
to have the
week.
hot flushes, not him. Come on.
Every bloody
You
week.
know it's going to go down slippery when you start mentioning the tassels.
Yeah, that's it. That's the pressure. What? That's the point. It's the tackles that do it.
Every time.
Isn't it?
That's whose fault. There we are.
Oh,
Only because
dear.
he's panicking because the last thing we had, we were actually going to get him tassels.
No,
He's gonna get all-
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure. Can you get
What
any that
about
like
that?
have little batteries that spring it one way and then the other? Because that's always been my challenge. To have
She can actually. There is the technique to learn it is not that difficult.
she knows. Oh my god! Why did it teach us this speak?
I could teach you the proper technique if you'd like,
I'm
Sarah.
not sure that live camera tassel twirling is accepted.
Well, I mean, I'll sign up for that course. B, what was it? Yeah.
I'll tell you what. This is going to more serious, but no, I've actually done my Reiki training.
Oh,
Yeah, and I'm doing the next section in December, and my attraction is towards animals,
wow.
and it's been quite interesting. And looking back again, when you look back, I thought it used to be quite a natural thing pre kids and all that. When I had more of a brain, I think that I used to know. I used to sort of instinctively know when animals are ill, where they were ill, and when they died, all this sort of stuff. Don't know. And so I started doing Reiki because it's something been on my bucket list forever, but I've just never found somebody I felt comfortable to teach me. It's got to be the right person. So I have recently, and I've done it, and I just thought, oh my god, this is amazing. So I did it on my dogs. It was hilarious. But it's because the weirdest thing is, like anything, you have to ask permission. And I thought, right, okay. As much as I love animals and I get it, how do you ask a dog if he wants some a bit of Reiki? You know.
Ian.
I can do long distance, Ian. Get Milo on there. So I thought I'll do it with Hogan because he's still a little bit reactive. So I sort of sat there and did what I needed to do. Switched myself on, tuned myself in, whatever. And he sat next to me on the sofa, as still as anything, didn't move. Then he climbed on my lap, which he doesn't do, and he sat as still as a statue for, I don't know, 10 minutes. And then they just move themselves off when they've had enough heat or they get too hot or whatever you're doing. But it was amazing. And even my neighbour at the back, she's got 3 young children, so she's a little bit cautious with him because he's a bit grumpy. And she said to me the next day, she goes, my God, what's happened to him? He's really chilled, isn't he? Yeah. there you go. I'm going to use magic hands.
Well,
Again,
I became a Reiki master. So I'm
wow.
I'm a Reiki master. So again, through doing the coaching, I was trying to find things get a toolkit for Kevin. And I think what the conversations you and I have all had, talking about the toolbox and the toolbox that you needed. And like Kevin was facing death every single day. And I was trying to channel the constant black cloud of death and trying to get him to somehow diffuse it, get rid of it, and, just try and deal with it. But more importantly, be able to share it and speak to me. So we did things. I tried journaling, which he did to a point, because like Kevin thought I was wired to the moon. Genuinely, like I'm quite spiritual, and he thought I was always wired to the moon. And I remember my Reiki master, who is a very good friend of mine, and I said to Kev, look, why don't you have a session with Vaughn and see, what you think? Had the most amazing experience. So at that point last year, I had done level 2, and he loved it, absolutely loved it. So whilst we were doing the coaching course, during the week, most nights I got the table, got the candles, the spiel, asking and getting yourself tuned in. And I gave him Reiki every single night that he asked for. And yeah, and obviously with a glioblastoma brain tumor, at the head, like when you're going round, here, it was just, it was buzzing. It was like mostly vibrating, but yeah, he slept like a baby. But yeah, I was just trying to get the tools and just like that. Again, that's why, I'm not looking to plan ahead, because, when you're sitting there with your soulmate and you see the fear, he's looking at his kids, he's looking at his wife, he's seeing his new house, he's seeing everything, and he's slowly but surely seeing everything going. And he knew when he was going, like Kevin and I suppose you after Kevin and Kevin passed, didn't I? I told you about did I tell you about my experience with Kev? So, when was it? The Thursday, the 5th of July, that's the confirmation that we got that Kevin was moved to palliative care. We just tried everything and couldn't get anywhere. So Thursday, was moved to palliative care. Friday, he had collapsed. Saturday, we moved our bedroom from upstairs to downstairs because we had to maneuver and help him up the stairs. And it was just, and that's my kids and I were all trying to help him. And it was just really, really difficult. And then the Sunday, I made tea. I made some pasta dish, and we were sat in the living room, and Kevin, the whole left side of his body just froze. It was gone, thingy. So I remember sitting there and I was feeding Kev because he couldn't hold the ball. At this point, he had no control. So I'm trying to feed him and I had tears streaming down my face. And I'm like, what's going on? Just bit by bit, he was going. And then went through to the kids and I said, I'm struggling for breath. I'm really, I think I'm having a panic attack here. I'm having a panic attack. I'm just can't breathe. And Lewis said, just go upstairs and lie with Ben. So lay with Ben for a wee while and then came downstairs. And I don't remember coming downstairs, but then I lay on the sofa and I went into a body coma for 5 hours. My mum, everyone was called. because when I was doing the coma, Kevin was in the next room and he said, "I'm going tonight. I'm going. That's it. I'm checking out. That's me. I'm going to die tonight." And my body just froze. And I remember flashbacks of Bradley coming in and saying, "Mum, deep breathe." And I'm trying to do the deep breathing. And he says, I have to go because I'm having a hypo because he's type 1 diabetic. And I'm like, and I'm trying to get up and my body just froze. It would not let me. And I know that, and it was bizarre. It was like a deep, deep, deep emotion. I howled, and I didn't realize until obviously I spoke with my friend, but I was howling so loud, just from a deep soul point. It was just going up and down. And I do remember like inside of me, like vibrating. It was almost like I was charging, or I don't know what it is, but it was just this deep, deep, deep vibration coming through me. And yeah, at that, because we were surrounded by family, we didn't get a chance. And Kevin said, "I just want to be with Ashley. I just want to be with Ashley." But at that time, everyone gets selfish and they want to be around. And I get it. I get it. And I was curled up on the sofa, and that was our goodbye. Because the bizarre thing is, I actually felt Kev leave me that night. It was bizarre. And so you probably get it with the whole Reiki and kind of spirituality side of things, but they brought Kevin beside me and he's like, "Come on, Ashley, come on, Ashley." And my eyes were closed and I thought, can't open my eyes because I can hear Kev being Kev. But if I open my eyes, I'm going to see Kevin as he is now. And when he was talking to me, I could see Kevin before everything, all the treatment and everything like that. And he went back through, and the paramedics were called to come and see me. And apparently I was showing signs of a stroke. And if I carried on, I would have actually had a stroke. But when I came to, eventually, paramedics telling me, this is the symptoms. If you carried on, you would have had that. And I just said to him, I said, "Look, maybe mamby-pamby to you, but my best friend is dying and it was a seizure of love." And that was it. But yeah. And then the following day, he was in the hospice, and then his body just slowly shutting down. So yeah, I don't know why I came up with that, but
Wow,
yeah.
that is so profound, Ashley.
Yeah, I mean, like my friend, my Reiki master, I got the kids to phone her, and her husband Jim, and they came because they've been with me from the get-go. They've been with me every step of the way. I've had issues with my family, which I won't go into, but they've been there for me since I got the phone call 2022 saying Kevin's been found unresponsive. So I made sure that Lewis phoned her. So they came straight out, sat with me, and she said it's the most amazing gift she's ever had, because she's never seen that soul connection love at that level, because it was just the way I was in the living room and like Kevin through there. She thanks me for the experience, because obviously that's something that doesn't, or very, very rarely happens. But yeah, it was tough. It was tough.
Wow.
I got goosebumps as you was telling that.
Yeah. Yeah. It just, and I think that's it. I've lost my soulmate. I've lost my best mate. Every single thing, every element of your life changes. Your friend circle, your family dynamic, how you eat, how you drink, absolutely everything to function as a human being has had a pivotal change. I mean, it's just went boom like that. So yeah, it's just, and I think for me, just grabbing the opportunity and just getting out there, because yeah, I don't want to go through all that again. I mean, that was intense, which you know, I'm not alone. Many people lose their spouses or their soulmates, but yeah.
Has it got? Oh, this is probably not. Has it got the understanding of what a privilege, like your friend, your Reiki master said, what a privilege it must have been to witness some of that and to have that depth of connection with somebody?
Well,
That,
she just never seen it. You
yeah,
know, it's not something that, you know, and it was bizarre because I mean, like, yeah, I was gobsmacked because when we went to the hospice, and I thought he was coming out. I didn't realize that was going to be his final resting place. And yeah, the nurse said, do you want this snuggle bed? And I was like, snuggle bed? And they've got like a hospital bed for two, so partners can lie on them. And we were obviously there for a while, and the nurses kept saying to me, she says, "You are so cute. You're such a connected, loving couple." And we're like, now, I'm quite taken aback here because I'm like, you see this every single day.
no,
And I'm gobsmacked because the amount of nurses that said, no, no, we don't see this all the time. This is very unique. And I'm gobsmacked because I'm like, well, you know, you just expect it, don't you? If your partner's dying, you're going to be there 24/7. But no, I mean, yeah, she just, Yvonne's, I guess she was just, I guess because you have a soulmate, like everyone talks about their soulmate, but to actually physically see a soul connection, a soul love connection, part in ways the way that I guess we did. She's never see that again, and she's absolutely. She says privileged, but like in a humbling way. I mean, obviously
yeah,
she's been a huge support for me, but just I think it was the level of connection. It was just that was so deeply rooted because that's where I went. I had to just, and I think that's what it was. I mean, never get the chance to be on our own, never got a chance to properly tell him how much I was going to miss him and everything like that. So I had to go right down to where we were connected to be able to just have that free space to do it, I guess.
I'm not surprised that the nurses are saying that to you. I think it's a very, very rare thing.
I would agree.
Very,
After
very rare.
yeah,
Yeah,
after doing what I
but,
do, I think it is rare.
yeah. But but because that's what you know, what you've lived with, and you recognise it, which is the most beautiful thing. But you've had something extremely special.
I have, absolutely. And it's like, yeah. And I kind of look at it as like, you know, I've got my big birthday next year, and it's like the halfway point. You know, I look at life as a meter stick and go, right, if you've got there's your meter stick, where are you in your life? Next year it's completely in the middle, you know? As B said, I was exactly the same in terms of like my age and thinking, man, you know, no one's going to employ us because we're so old and they want the young ones. And I'm like, no, hang on a minute. I've got at least 15 years experience still in me. You know, I've got 15 years to give and I won't go anywhere else. And I think it's as much as I am absolutely comfortable, I mean, like, he's my soulmate. I think start off in my 50s and it's this second chapter of my life. But I'm getting
Yeah.
to find me,
Yeah.
getting to see who I am. It's no coincidence I've literally been thrown over here, no kids, nothing, nada. It's just me. And whatever I choose to do for the next however long, bring it on.
I think it is definitely a chapter type thing, isn't it? And I think that with hitting another big number next year, you do get this feeling of your own mortality. And I think you just think, yeah, it's chapters. I think we need to erase the word retirement because that's really not going to be in our it's not really going to be in our language. It's definitely not going to be in our children's language. So I think, it's good that we are looking at, all of us looking at, not reinventing ourselves, we're just deciding to do something different, and it's just
No,
different.
we're
chapters of
actually
us doing it.
finding ourselves.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing, because we as human beings, we evolve anyway. We evolve not just in age and growth and stuff, in like physical growth. We actually evolve as well mentally. So all we're doing is finding our next chapter.
Yeah.
And not being stuck. And I think we should be really pleased. We should be very proud of us all for not being stuck.
Yeah, for actually having the courage to actually try things.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think again as well is it's not taken on board. I think when you're younger, I mean, I always remember that you were always worried about what people were saying or what people would think. And it's just like, what? I'm done with it. I think that's the good thing about obviously the coaching masters that we went on to, because Liam and
Lewis.
I should have remembered that because I've got Lewis. But do you know what? I think that the most powerful line that they ever said for me was, in 100 years' time, we're not even going to be here. So why bother? And I think that's been a powerful thing for me, because it's like, who cares? I think when you're younger, you're just so involved and you're so caught up in what people think, and you want to, it doesn't matter. You cannot get on with everybody. Not every single person in life is going to like you. Just move on, and it's being able to just do that. And I think for me, certainly for what I've gone through the last while, I don't care. Like, jog on. Still like me. See you later.
Absolutely.
We need t-shirts now with jog on. I've just ordered myself a t-shirt in preparation for next year, and it's got, hang on, what's it got on it? 59.
And
Yeah.
49. Look at the
Yeah,
bar.
that's it. I'm going to wear it with pride.
Oh my God, Sarah, I think you and I must have been related in a previous life. Seriously.
Fabulous. Wow, guys, it's so inspirational.
As I say, what an evening.
Amazing.
Oh, I know. It's been so good to see you.
It's been lovely to see you and Sarah, and of course my lovely buddies I see most weeks.
Yes, thank you, B.
So I think being a very painful OT, because that's what I was born and bred to do. I think in some ways we just got to make sure we do it again, folks.
Absolutely.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed that episode. A very special episode with Ashley and Sarah joining us. We love them and can't wait to see them again soon. Really, really soon. All the best, everyone. Until next time. And be there.
Be there.
And
Be
be naked.